So, London, you've been in porn for about 5 years, but you said that 3.5 of those years you did nothing but bondage porn, and you've only kind of recently started to do what I guess we would call more mainstream porn.
Right.
So, what kind of, when you say you did bondage porn, can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
I mean, most of it was for, most of it was for one company. It was Insects, and it's, really... extreme bondage and
I had an
corporal
ex-boyfriend who was obsessed with that website.
Okay, yeah, it's a company that's known to put out some kind of intense things and put a lot of effort into production and stuff like that. So I don't really know why I decided that's where I was going to jump, because I wasn't a bondage person. I hadn't done any bondage in my personal life before I started working for them.
Interesting.
And I wanted to. And so I was on a website called FetLife. It's and people would people would send me messages and be like, I just think you're so beautiful and I want to tie you up and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but you might be a serial killer.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, FetLife is a networking site for people who are into the fetish in the fetish community. Okay, so go on.
Yeah. So instead of meeting strangers on FetLife, I decided to ask to be a model for Insects, and that's, I guess, how I got my start. I don't know.
So were you, intrigued by the idea of doing bondage, and you thought that maybe, doing it on camera was kind of a safe way to explore that? Or what was your thinking?
Yeah, that's exactly what my thinking was. And I mean, the nice thing is it's not like I'm entering into a relationship with somebody who's ever going to call me. That sounds shitty, but then, so I'm I get to do this thing that I want to experience.
Yeah.
See if I like it, which I thought I would. I was, because usually when you have enough of an interest in something, it's because you're going to like it.
Right.
But if I didn't enjoy myself, I was I can just not do this again.
Right.
And it's not a big deal.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about someone calling you afterwards.
And being hey, why don't you like me? Do you like the way I spanked you? Or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that
all those
conversation sounds like.
Complicated human emotions and stuff like that. I get it. You wanted to just experience the sex side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Understood.
Exactly.
And so what was your first scene like?
It was a rope bondage scene for they have multiple sites, and one of their sites is hard tight. It was the rope bondage scene. And I didn't realize how, I'm actually physically pretty flexible, and I didn't realize how valuable that was, but it was just gold for them, because I'm sitting there and they're tying me up with my feet, locked behind my head and shit like that. And it was a really intense scene, but I mean, everyone, I think everyone was so friendly. And I will say that, even going into more mainstream porn or whatever, when you get the bond, companies like Insects and Kink, and you show up on their sets, you're almost treated like a princess in a way that no other company will ever treat you. There's somebody following you around with a robe and a bottle of water, being hey, do you need anything? How are you doing? Because when you're doing horrible, horrible things to people, you have to be really nice to them.
That is 100% the quote that I am using for this interview. When you do horrible things to people, you have to be nice. Okay, got it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the show, make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. And go check out all the other videos. I film every single one of my podcasts. And if you want to listen to the audio version, I'm on iTunes and all the other podcast platforms. Visit hollyrandallunfiltered.com to find out more.